Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel. What a strange thing to say, right? I should say we're actually welcome back to the channel. That I think that sounds a little bit better. But anyway, I'm glad you joined. And my name is Malka Maxwell. I'm the author of How to Get Ahead with Resumes Revised. And today we are going to look at something that I touched on years ago but didn't expand, and I'd like to expand a little bit more on it. And this will probably be another book, by the way, in the series. And that is how your resume can be one of your most powerful tools for building and showcasing your personal brand. And so, in today's video, we are going to dive into how you can use your resume to communicate your unique value proposition, right? Your UVP to to potential employers with some of the beginning information that I used, or some of the advice that I had started in my first book called How to Get Ahead with Resumes Revised. So if you're ready to build a resume that speaks to your brand, keep watching. Okay, so what is personal branding? And I guess that's really the basics. That's the first question that really we should touch on, and basically, I'm repeating myself, so let's start this over again. What is personal branding? Personal branding, in its most simplest terms, is how you present yourself to the world. And what it is it's a unique combination of your skills, your experience, your values, and your personalities that make you stand out, that makes you you, that makes you unique, I guess is the best way to put that, right? Now, when you're wondering how do I fit all of that into a resume, the answer is multifold. One, you could say, "Hey, that's a great question." You're, but on the other hand, you could also look at it from this perspective, and that is that your resume is not just a list of your job posts. It's also a tool to showcase your personal brand in terms of your accomplishments and your ability to highlight key skills on the resume. Now, the funny part is, I believe very strongly everybody has the same skills. Um, However, we're still very unique, and that's really what your resume would be doing. Your resume should be trying to show how you are still unique in what it is that you do. In my book, How to Get Ahead with Resumes, I actually emphasize the importance of identifying and communicating everyone's unique value proposition. Okay, and that basically means what makes you different from other candidates. And you should be able to reflect that in your resume. And so a lot of times we write resumes because we're in a hurry. And oh my gosh, there's this job I want to apply for, and this is what's going through our head while we're writing this job. So I want to list ABC job, ABC position, this, and this, so that I can fit, so that the keywords will bring me up as a qualified candidate so I can get into that job. But another way of looking at creating your resume or crafting your resume is to literally look at it from the perspective of what makes me unique, what makes me different than any other candidate that is applying for this position. And then this is what we're going to start with. We want the resume to not only reflect your job or your work history, you want it to be impactful enough to show somebody that, hey, I can solve your problems. And as an employer, this is what I can bring to you in the future. Okay, that is literally the big mindset behind creating these resumes. And so when you sit down and you build one, those are the things that you should be trying to keep in mind as you're building your resume. So now the next question would be, how do you use your resume to build your personal brand? And my suggestion is that you focus on key areas that truly highlight your identity and your value to potential employers. And I would think the first part of that would be seen in the sections of your resume that says professional summary, your skills, and your accomplishments. Okay, those three sections allow you, the employer, to show, I'm sorry, you, the employee, rather, to show to potential employers your identity and the things that make you unique, the value that you bring as the unique soul that you are to whatever job that it is that you're trying to apply for. And it doesn't matter what the job is, it doesn't matter what the title is, because ultimately it's about what makes us unique. You know, it could be something simple like customer service in a fast food restaurant. You know, what will make you unique than your coworker is the fact that you have whatever skills it is that you have. You know, you may have a sense of humor. You may have a tremendous amount of patience. You may be a person that just naturally makes people feel comfortable. You know, you may be extremely patient. Whatever it is, these are the things that you're going to be showcasing in your choice of words and in the type of jobs that you've held to show somebody that these are the things that you have to offer. Furthermore, when you have your interview and they will ask you questions about yourself, you can actually go one step further by showcasing them, by showcasing those skills, rather, not them, but those skills, and giving them a name, okay, when you have your job description. When you have your job interview. So back to the paper, back to the resume. Your professional summary is your first chance, where you can quickly tell the reader who you are, what you stand for, what you've accomplished. I believe that the summary should be crafted in such a manner that not only reflects your professional experience, but it should also reflect your personal values and your career goals. So this is essentially the elevator pitch for your brand, if you will, you know. So for example, instead of just saying that I'm an experienced marketing professional, for those of you who are marketers, what you could say is that I'm a creative marketing strategist with a passion for driving brand awareness and customer engagement through innovative and digital means or campaigns, right? And so this basically says that, one, you know technology, right, when you break it down. It also shows that you have a level of customer service experience. It also shows that you're a strategist. It also shows that you're creative. So that's 4 things wrapped up in one sentence that would make the difference between you and someone else who says, hey, I'm a marketing specialist, you know, something like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. But, you know, if you want to take it to the next level and you want to create a brand, then you do have to go that extra measure, so to speak, okay? Now, showcasing your skills and your achievements would be under the category of your resume that says skills and accomplishments. And if you don't have it on your resume, you can always put it on there. You know, there's no rule that says you can't put these categories onto your resume. I just say take out the one that says goal, you know, come up with a better term for it. You know, hey, my goal, my objective is to be hired. Like, no, take that out and you can replace it with achievement or skills or something like that. And with your skills, you can also obviously throw in your technological skills as well. So you could say proficient in Microsoft Office, proficient in, and then list Microsoft Office or Apple or whatever it is that you're used to working with. You can use Audacity, you can use, you know, PDF Maker, whatever it is, because believe it or not, a lot of these job board search criteria are kind of old. They're from like the early 2000s, and so they'll have these search terms that most people forget to put on their resume because you figure, oh, come on, this is 2024. Who puts PDF on their resume? But alas, sometimes you may get skipped over because something like that is not written on your resume. Okay, but moreover, you also want to put in the things that you are proficient in. So, for instance, if you are great with using software and you can forecast or create financial analysis, you know, you would put that in the same skills area of your resume where you have, you know, your software written, okay? An achievement would be that you increased sales by a certain percentage, or that you had that you led and or created a multi or a diverse team of professionals that did ABC. Okay, those are things that you could put under the skills and or achievement sections of your resume, because if you use just the job section where you talk about what job, sometimes we forget to put those things in because there may not be any room. So that's where you would use that. You can highlight that information. I believe another point in terms of your resume being used as a tool for brand building is that you should use areas of your resume within your online preferences as well. I call it cross pollination, if you will. And I never knew a real word for it, because in my mind, you're going on multiple platforms, you're taking a little bit from each and you're spreading it out so that you have a full picture of who you are. And when people are searching for you, they'll see different elements of you, the person, the brand. And so I believe that obviously you want to have sections of your resume on a platform like LinkedIn. Part of your profile should reflect some of that. I believe that when you're creating your LinkedIn profile, you should definitely be using tone, skills, achievement, all from a professional point of view. And it's funny because I have an account when LinkedIn first started, right? And at that time, a lot of people were not really sure how we were using social media for our professional reasons. I think actually all of my profiles are professional use. My Instagram, my X, even back in the day when MySpace was on, it was actually written up in such a manner where it reflected my professional accolades as opposed to my personal. Every once in a while, I would put something personal on one of my platforms, especially if I felt it was very important for me to get something out there. I believe most times not. You don't need to know anything, my personal stuff, because I really don't feel, I'm not a big personal person. So, and most of my life really, literally evolves around a lot of my professional stuff, my professional work anyway. So I always used the platforms to highlight my professional work. And I think when you're doing that as a professional, as an up-and-coming professional, even as a seasoned professional, if you're interested in building a brand, that's really what you should be doing. You should be using the platforms for, I would say, at least 90% of everything that's said about you should be professional in nature. It should reflect your professional accolades. It should reflect your professional experiences. It should reflect your professional skills. It should reflect even your professional trajectory, whether you plan to make your career bigger, or you plan to stay where you are, or you plan to do a retirement. You still want your achievements to be out there and to be highlighted. They should be the things that speak volumes for you. They should be the things that are your brand. They're the things that are synonymous with your name, so to speak. Okay? And it's very, very important. Most times not, the more experience people get, the more they want to go into leadership roles. Not everybody wants to be a leader, and I respect that. However, if you do want to go into more of a managerial type position, or a C-level suite, if you don't want to really be on the top, or if you don't want to be a business owner, or even if you do want to be a business owner, the point being is that you want to be able to reflect those type of goals. And if you chose to go into that role, you want to be able to show, hey, I have experience, I have those skills, I have those achievements. Okay? And it's really, really important. And you want potential employers to get the same impression of you everywhere they look. Okay? So whether they're looking for you on Instagram, or they're looking for you on Pinterest, or they're looking at you on X, or they're looking for you on LinkedIn, or they're looking for you even on your personal website, you want the message, the vision of you to be consistent. All right? And that is what is going to make a personal brand so important. And that is one of the building blocks, or I would say even the base, for building a really, really good personal brand. Another important factor to using your resume to help you build a personal brand is the one thing that everybody seems to leave out, and that is your unique value proposition. We have in sales the unique selling proposition, right? This one is a value proposition, a UVP as opposed to a USP. A UVP, value, value, value. What do I, the candidate, this prospective employee, have that you need, that you want, and what is it that makes it in me so much better than the next person? And that's what your goal is. Your goal is to show people those things. And so you will be highlighting this information about yourself by using certain phrases, such as you're creatively solving a problem, that you are a creative thinker, that you are a team leader. You don't want to use those type of words too much because you don't want to give the impression to a prospective employer that you've peaked, so to speak, and that you can't learn anything new from them, or that you would be a threat to them. But you want to show that you can stand in your power, so to speak. That yes, if you're chosen to lead, or if you choose to lead, you can do so. You can do it effectively, and you can do that by writing things like, you've consistently developed creative solutions to solve problems when others seem not to be able to solve them. Where my clients can feel that I've solved a problem, or my employer felt that I've solved a problem for an unsolvable problem, or I've gotten a creative solution. I created a creative solution, or for a problem that existed, and you can explain what that problem is if you want, or you can hold it for the interview and explain it in more detail. If you have a blend of skills, you could definitely do that. One of the things that I've noticed is that some of the people who are really, really skilled, and a lot of creatives are self-taught, which is really, really funny. People don't think that, and so that's really something to call out in your information as well, because you're basically showing that you are a creative problem solver. Not only can you solve problems, you can do it creatively, and that you have the grit, so to speak, to do so. And then having all of these little bits and pieces of your personality and putting it all together on a resume is your way of building your personal brand. You're basically communicating to anyone who's curious about you on a professional level that my summary shows my professional experiences, my skills on my resume shows the things that I've learned to do, my accomplishments section of my resume showcases my unique value proposition as a potential employee rather. And this way, with those three added categories, you're showing that your resume is not just a list of where I've been for the last 20, 30 years, or the last 5 years, or whatever amount of years you've been in your career. It shows where you've been, where you currently are, and where you plan to go. And that's very, very important, because when businesses are willing to invest in an employee, those are the things they're looking for. They're looking for, well, if we invest X amount of money, is this person going to stick with us for at least a couple of years? And you can do that. You can show with an unresounding yes, I can be someone that you can count on. Yes, I am someone that you should be investing in, because look at all these things on my resume. Okay, now I hope this video has given you some kind of a valuable insight into how you can use your resume to build your personal brand. And I hope that you found this helpful, to help you tweak your resume if you need to. If you plan to build one up, if you don't, that's okay. Hopefully it'll help you also look at your profiles, your professional profiles, and come up with some ideas on how you can update them, because that's also very important. Do remember to update your profiles regularly, because again, we change, we evolve, and we want to show people how we are constantly growing. If there's no growth, that means we're stagnant, and stagnation is not a good thing. That's a demon we need to banish. So we want to show that we can constantly grow, and that with our growth, even if it's small, that we're getting better. We have new skills in our tool belt, so to speak, in our tool chest, whatever you want to call it, and that we are still keeping up with the times and we can go with the flow. We can still solve problems. And as a person, as a potential employee, I have added value to my unique value proposition. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like. Do remember to subscribe for more career tips, resume writing tips, interview tips, and search engine optimization tips, because I believe this is going to be on the same channel. It's different playlists. And if you have any comments, feel free to comment below. I have one question as we're parting, and that is, what's one skill or trait that you think sets you apart from other candidates if you were applying for a position? Leave the comments. Let's chat. Thank you. Have a great day.